What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got a wonderful 20-inch AR on the table here that we're going to talk about. As you can see, it's a carry handle device up here, which is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, we're gonna talk about this thing a bit today. So we're going to start off with hole the pole. First off, we got ourselves this wonderful brown Proto AR retro stock from Brownells. It is 10-inch in length, so that's about a ½ inch shorter than the A2 stock. So it gives you a little bit shorter of a length of pole. Super comfortable. The butt plate on there is kind of nice and rounded on the edges. It's not rubberized like the original ones are, but it's kind of a solid plastic, but comfortable nonetheless. Moving on down the line here, we're going to just keep touching on the furniture since we're talking about it. Obviously, it's all matches. It's all brown. This is actually all Brownells retro furniture meant for the Proto ARs. So both the early AR-10 and then they did an AR-15 with the same Proto furniture on it with the top charger, all that fun stuff. But yeah, as you can see, the pistol grip is kind of cut differently than a traditional AR pistol grip, and very much so different from even the A1 pistol grip. It has kind of like a little shelf spot here, I guess, more or less you could call it, and just generally a little bit different of a shape, but fairly comfortable. It's a little different at first, but it's pretty freaking comfortable. And then moving on to our handguard up here. Obviously, again, it's the brown Proto stuff, matches. Yeah, not much to be said there. It looks friggin' awesome. It is definitely a vibe, that's for sure. You can get that vibe counter up here someplace. I don't know, I'm dumb. But yeah, it's definitely a killer look. Moving on down the line to our upper receiver, it's a Luth AR C7 replica carry handle upper receiver. So essentially all that means is traditional A1 rear sights, and we get a brass deflector on it. That's all the C7 really is. And the C7, that refers to the Canadian service rifle, which adopted this upper receiver style, I think back in, I don't know, late 70s, 80s, somewhere in that timeline. People in the comments can correct me on that. Please school me. I'd love to learn about it. This one I furnished off with a teardrop forward assist on it. So touching on the Brownells retro Colt scope here, Brownells actually contacted the original company that made them back in the 60s for Colt and got them to make more, which is pretty freaking awesome. This particular one is the Brownells branded one, so it just says retro across the top. I know recently they came out with a Colt branded one that Brownells had done, which is pretty cool, but this one is before that particular model. Moving down to the lower receiver, I know I'm going to make a bunch of you guys sad. You know, I get it. It's a budget pony. Throw all the shade you want. Yeah, just as good. Yeah, I get it. It does work, and it matches the finish fairly well, so I don't really care. And attached to these receivers here, we have our barrel. This is a Ballistic Advantage 1-in-7 twist 20-inch government profile barrel, which I got it on sale from their website, and they're always having sales, so I think I paid like $230, something like that, with the front sight post pinned on and all that fun stuff already. So it's a good barrel. I haven't had any issues with it. Don't know why I would, but yeah, that's pretty awesome. The bolt in this thing is nothing crazy, just a plain Jane Brownells BCG, the $90 one, whatever. It works just fine, just like any other AR. The trigger in this thing, as you can see, probably guess from the anti-walk pins, it's probably a drop-in, and you would assume correctly on that. It's a Rise Armament Rave trigger. 3.5 pound pull on it, single stage. It feels real nice. It's a real budget-oriented one. You can get them at Fleet Farm for like 130, 140 bucks. So kind of a no-brainer. It's super comfortable. The reset is super soft. You feel it, but it's fairly soft and smooth. But I like it a lot. And in a 20-inch platform with this, it's just such a smooth shooter. And some of you guys might notice the awesome 2-point sling I have going on this. So we got a little bit of that Golden Tiger pattern on here. Kind of an homage to Vietnam era SF guys with that. It's a Gap Monkey 2-point adjustable sling. And I just have it attached with the loop on the front from the Sling, and then I've got paracord around the stock there, and that works pretty well for me. I like it. I like how it has a little slider adjuster on it, what have you. So it makes kind of keeping it close to your body and then loosening it up for shooting pretty easy. So I like that a lot. We're also going to toss up some, wherever, over one of my shoulders here, some shooting footage of this thing early on when I had first put it together. Back then I did have a detachable carry handle on it. That was back when, about a year or so ago, when getting carry handles was pretty hard because nobody had them in batches yet, really. So they were all like pre-order, or everyone was just waiting for like Luth or Brownells, or I think PSA had just started doing the H&R stuff then, so everyone was just waiting for them, and when they'd come out, people would just snatch them up like that. So I was waiting to get this Luth AR upper for a little bit, but I did finally get it, so that's why you might see that discrepancy in some of my shooting footage. Now, with this thing being a 20-inch barrel and a full stock on it, and with that real nice Rise trigger in it, a 3.5 pound, it is probably one of the smoothest rifles that I have to shoot. It is just an absolute joy to shoot this thing. It's it's fairly heavy. It's not super heavy, obviously. It's not like running around with a Garand or anything like that, but it's heavier than your standard AR carbine, what have you. But when you shoot it, it has enough of that weight, not that 223 or 556 is going to blast you over, but it handles that recoil quite well and smoothly, might I add. So, you can blast off shots pretty quickly and not have a lot of rocking and swinging and that type of a deal. So I really enjoy that about this rifle. So as some of you astute viewers out there may have noticed, this magazine doesn't look like your regular AR mag. It doesn't. Notice how it has that kind of brown tint to it? So this is an original, I'll just lay it down, an original Colt mag, actually, that I got from More Militaria. They do a bunch of Vietnam era stuff, but for a while there they had a bunch of these old surplus mags, and it's kind of neat to look at it and just compare it to like the Brownells ones. Obviously we have an aluminum follower rather than a plastic one, and some of the lips on here and all that are cut just a little bit different, and you get the cool Colt stamp on the bottom, that type of deal. We'll bring the camera in and give you some close-ups of this too. But yeah, just a neat little thing that I added to my collection here. Have an original Colt 20 rounder, pretty cool. So if you guys like retros, hang around, why don't you? Subscribe, check out some of our other retro videos. We've got our Delta Fars, we've got a Brownells XM16E1, we've got some others in the works. Hang around if you want to make fun of mine, or tell me that it's cool. Make fun of my funny British shirt here, or tell me that it's cool. Do it. That'd be pretty cool. Other than that, I think that's a wrap on this lovely brown rifle. Take her easy.